Hello again, friends. It's me, Mr. Proft, coming to you from my son's room here in sunny Santa Monica, California. This used to be our guest room, but you know what? Our son Jonathan's getting older. He wanted to move out and not be in a room with his brother, so he has taken over the guest room here. So from now on, I'll be doing these videos not from my guest room, but from my son's room here in sunny Santa Monica, California. And hey, we've got a lot to do today. This is actually going to be sort of an exciting activity that we're going to do. We're going to be toy makers. Yes, indeed. We are going to make ourselves some toys this week, which is great because this is the week right before Christmas. So we're going to pretend that we're little elves and we're going to help make some toys. You remember we've been reading this story. Let me see if I can share my screen with you guys. We've been reading a story called Have Fun, Molly Lou Mellon. And in that story, this little girl, Molly Lou Mellon, she makes her own toys from things that she finds around the house, or she takes toys that she had before and she sort of makes them better by using things that she finds around the house. Like here she is, she took like an action figure or a doll and made him like a suit of armor out of flowers and leaves and little twigs. Later in the story, she makes a dollhouse out of a bush in her front yard, just kind of like puts things in the bush and pretends that it's a dollhouse, which I think is pretty clever. She does this really cool thing where she makes her own race car out of cardboard and some wheels she finds and some paint she finds in the garage. So she is extremely clever and she's always making her own toys. There's a very famous toy from a movie maybe you've seen um, called Forky. And Forky, was a homemade toy. Well, actually, not a homemade toy. It was a toy a little girl made one day when she was in school, right? She took a fork and she put on some of these little, they're called pipe cleaners, these little twisty bits. And she glued some eyes. And I think she made like the mouth and the eyebrow out of Play Doh and taped it to some popsicle sticks. So there you go. Forky is just totally a toy that somebody made out of stuff they found at home. Kids have been making their own toys for a long time. Like, check this out. This is a milk jug or a plastic bottle that someone just sort of cut the top off of and then put two sticks through. And then I'm not sure what they made the wheels out of, but there's somebody totally made their own toy car out of just stuff they found around the house. This is cool. This is something that I actually did with my kids a lot. We would take cardboard and we would turn the cardboard box, we would cut them up and we would make roads out of it, just like this. That's super cool. They made their own little road play set, and you can also make your own buildings and stuff out of cardboard boxes. That's always super fun. So here's my question to you. What toy do you think you could build from things you find around the house? What toy could you build out of things that you find around the house? What would you make your toy out of? That's another question. I'm going to see if I'm going to try to get really tricky here. I'm going to see if I can share my document camera with you. So you should be able to see my desk here. Look at those coffee stains. Oh, terrible, terrible. Mr. Proft always making a mess with his coffee. Well, I have been looking at this uh, container of fish food for a long time. This is fish food that I use to feed my fish. Obviously, I've got an aquarium just off camera right there, and I've been feeding my fish this food all year long. I think I could turn this into a toy. I bet you I could. I bet you if I decorated the outside, if I added some bits, I think I could turn this into a toy. And I think the toy could look a little something like this. Like, here's the little fish food container. I think if I glued some hair onto it, and I think if I added some eyes, I have an idea how I'm going to do that. I think I could turn this fish food container into a silly little monster like that. So here is your job today. You're going to look around the house and you're going to come up with an idea for a toy that you could make using things around the house. And I want you to draw a picture of what your toy would look like. Draw a picture of what your toy would look like. And I'd like you to label it. Like right here, I said fish food, like that, because that's what this container is. It's a container of fish food. And here's his mouth. Here's his eyes. I'm going to have some hair over here. Um, these are his arms. If you can't spell these words, then at least try to write the first letter. Arms, I know, starts with an A, so I could just write an A, right? Because that's for his arms. This is his body. I can't really spell the word body, but I could write the letter B for body. All right. So you're going to draw me a picture of the toy you want to make or you think you could make. And then, of course, as always, you're going to take a picture of that and send that to me or Miss Dano. Let me see if I can stop sharing. So that's your job. Think of something you could make. Think of a toy you could make from stuff you find around the house. Draw a picture of what that would look like. Add some words to label it. Take a picture of that and send it to us. Don't lose this. Hang on to this because we're going to need to use this again tomorrow. Oh, no, tomorrow? No, Wednesday, for Wednesday. So put this in a nice, safe place because we're going to do some more with this on Wednesday. Okay, you got it? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We're toy making elves now. So on behalf of me and Miss Dano, this is Proft out.